Peace, this is Brother Tim doing this side thought. And what I wanted to share was what I learned by developing that Ambrosia. For those that don't know, that Ambrosia is an ancient drink that was created by using honey, raw sugar, and water. And somehow the bacteria and yeast that formed this drink solidified itself into a culture, or into a colony of touchable bacteria and yeast. And what this culture or this colony does, it establishes its territory, and it seals off its resources, the tea and the honey and the water, off from everything else. It takes its own resources that it uses to grow and to become a strong colony, to move from a colony to, in a sense, a culture, into a strong and surviving group. It creates an environment where only those individuals that are like it have a certain vibration, have a certain purpose, have a certain role, are able to fit. All other bacteria and yeast that don't belong are either blocked out from getting in or are destroyed in the process. Now, they call it a SCOBY. A SCOBY is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. That's SCOBY. Now, what's important about that is that it's symbiotic. What is it symbiotic with? A symbiotic relationship is a relationship where the individuals involved in the relationship get something from each other. Who is the colony symbiotic with? Now, in this case, this culture that I'm working with has a symbiotic relationship with myself, right? Because this culture has to give me what it is that I like and what I need so that I can survive, so that I can continue giving the colony what it needs to survive. Because if the honey and the tea stops, the culture dies. That's their resource. That's their main resource. That's what they farm. That's what they live off. And I provide that. And by me providing that, I am able to get the drink that I am sharing with you. Now, the power or the gift that comes with that is this. I get to experience a real culture. I get to experience a group of beings that have decided to come together, live together, cooperate, and build. And in them building, they understand that they have a relationship with something outside itself. And that something outside itself is me. And they constantly provide me with what I need. Now that more people are drinking ambrosia, these colonies begin to, in a sense, I believe, begin to understand that they need to be able to give other people what they need so that this colony, that this group that is growing can continue, right? This is where a lot of the health benefits come in, right? Because it's like if we are able to get health and to get a nice, good taste from this colony, right, we will continue drinking. And in us continue drinking, now it's no longer just me, but in us continue drinking, this symbiotic culture or colony of bacteria and yeast will continue giving us what we need to provide us with life. So now, bringing it back to us as black people, we have dysfunctional relationships. We don't have symbiotic relationships. We have dysfunctional relationships within ourselves, and we're not able to produce anything because we're warring against each other, whether it's through dogma, or whether it's through actual arms and stuff, we're not able to formulate a colony so that we can start establishing a territory and developing a resource that we could produce, that the world would look at and say, hey, we need that. See, because this colony didn't start first by providing me what I need. They first started getting what they needed. And they started figuring out that by them working together and forming this colony, it made it easier for the group, it made it easier for the individual and the group to survive. Now, we have to come to that realization, and what's crazy to me is that these are supposedly non-thinking beings, but they're able to formulate a culture in the bucket. We have the whole wide world, and eventually we're going to be moving to other planets. And we have not figured out, as black folks, how to build a culture or to rebuild a culture, however you want to look at it, to where we are able to provide our needs so that we could produce things that other people outside of us can get, and we develop a relationship with them so that we could formulate this thing called trade. And this trade will continue to bring other resources into us that will make us better and stronger. You know, I mean, that's just a thought that I had in working with this culture, because it's incredible the things that you can learn when you just settle down and look at the processes that nature has provided us with. I mean, we are living in a wide world, and many of us miss these small little lessons. This lesson is actually changing the way that I am interacting with my tribe. This is Brother Hatim, and it's just a random thought. You know, I'm just, sitting up here thinking, working on my brochures and stuff. So this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank you for listening. And with that, I say peace.